Hello everyone, my name is SiC and welcome back to Factorio. So if I remember correctly, we were busy with setting up green science. And for that we're going to need two different items. We're going to need a transport belt, which we have already automated and are being put onto this transport belt right here. And then secondly, we're going to need inserters. And for that we need electronic circuits, iron gear wheels and iron plates, which we brought together already. So all that we really need to do right now is expand this system a little bit. Let's see, we're going to have a little bit of a division right there. We're going to need a splitter, I think. Let us see, we're going to put a splitter on the iron gear wheels. Right, we're going to get some underground belts. Oh, didn't need another splitter, but well, I'm sure we can use it later on. We're going to put a divider up here like this. Let's see, we're going to turn this away to the side. Now, we're going to need one of each. We're going to need one electronic circuit, we're going to need one iron gear wheel and one iron plate. What I think I want to do is I want to keep all the green circuits together on one belt. And then we're going to mix these together on one belt. So what we're going to want to do here is, let's see, we're going to have this one go around like so, and up like that. This one can go in like this. Actually, we could probably do this a little bit closer to home. Let's see, like so. Now we just need to get rid of this. There, that is nice. Alright, and then we're going to expand this over, let's see, in this direction I suppose, but leave enough space in the middle for two of these actually. Let's have a look. We're going to need to space this out. Right, so we're going to have one belt going over like this. We're going to need a space for an inserter. We're going to have one of these machines. So that one's going to be right there. Which means that we're going to have a dual belt going here and here. Alright, so then this one can be on that belt. And then we need to expand our green circuits. Let's see, turn it around like that, and up and sideways and up and sideways again. Alright. Actually, we might want to do this slightly differently. Because I'm thinking that at some point we're going to have logistical robots, right? So we're going to need to have some inserters in boxes, which means that preferably I'd have a box in here as well, which means that we need another space for the inserter like so. And then we're going to have a space here and here, like this. That is better. And of course this one is going to have to go down a little bit, and we're going to need several of these. So let's see, we'll have one over here like that, like so. Actually, maybe one down will be better even, so that we can have a electrical post over here as well. Alright, two will be fine for this, I think, for now at least. Then we're going to have two boxes over here. And then we're going to need several inserters, which of course we have not automated yet, so we're going to need to craft some by hand. But these boxes, they will be used for the logistical network later on. This side, however, I don't think we're going to need that stuff. Then we need 4 red-handed inserters so we can reach the other belt. Like so. And then the first thing that we're going to create here is, of course, right, my bad. We need blue stuff. Assembling machines, blue assembling machines, because these ones can craft up to 4 different items. And the regular gray ones, they can only craft up to 2 items. Or can only use 2 ingredients per item that they're producing. Right. So we're going to get some electrical poles in here. And of course we're going to connect this stuff. So we're going to have one in here as well. Now let's see. Electrical circuits. And of course the boxes should be limited to have about 50. I think that's a nice amount. We're not going to use boxes on this side because that's just for production purposes. Now let's see, then we're going to have to combine that stuff with the transport belts. Now I want to be able to continue this loop. I want to be able to continue this downwards a little bit as well. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to create that other system over here, which means that this belt needs to loop over in this direction. Like so. And we can go up like this again. And of course we should set these to produce inserters as well, before we forget. Let's see, we are already running out of electricity as well. That is something that we definitely need to keep an eye on. Now let's make sure that we have some boilers and steam engines already. Alright, so that is fluid handling done. For most of these next researches we are going to need green science, but we can still research shotgun shell damage and reload speed, I guess. So we're going to go ahead and do that. But first, let's see, we're going to have... You know what, we might as well start in conjunction with that one, I suppose. Then we're going to need one space for a belt, one space for an inserter, like so. Then we're going to need two belts in the middle, again. And of course the inserters over here. Like so. Alright, so we are going to have this one come in over here. And of course we're going to keep expanding this line over towards this area. Alright, so now that we have all this, let's set this to produce Science Pack 2. There we go. And of course we are going to need inserters, which we can now grab off the belt, which is awesome. Alright. Let's have some of these things set up, like so. And again on the other side. Let's get rid of that stuff later on. Let's see, we are of course going to need several long-handed inserters. Not sure if I grabbed enough. No, doesn't look like I did. Let's get 6, because of course we have 6 assembling machines. Now these ones will be fine as assembling machine 1, because we're only need to combine. We're only going to need to combine 2 items, so that's not going to be an issue. And again, electrical poles down the middle, like so. And then I guess we could put up another electrical pole right there. Put in a nice light, I suppose. Put a light in there, because that's all we had left. And now, of course, we need to make sure that all of this runs over towards our our research center. And wow, I did not think this through entirely. I need to combine this stuff onto a single belt, which we are not doing right now. So we are going to switch this thing around. We're going to run it upwards. And then we're going to get the underground belt, which doesn't reach quite all the way, which is sad. Very, very sad indeed. And again, this one isn't going to reach all the way, so we're going to have to run another one here. Bit of a waste of resources if you ask me, but oh well, it will have to do. Then we're going to have to suck up all the red science on one side, which is awful. Absolutely awful. Alright, that's going to fill up our inventory quite nicely, I suppose. Yeah, we're going to need around 8 different kinds of research. So we're going to need these belts to be filled up. You know, we need to have 2 different kinds of research on this belt, 2 different kinds on this one, 2 different kinds on this one, and that one as well. Otherwise, this entire system isn't going to work like this. But this we can expand over towards the left again, which is great. Let's see, we're going to need some burner inserters. Let's get 2 more boilers, 4 more steam engines. And we're going to need to run this down a little bit more as well. This, however, is going to be fine if we connect it up for like this for now. Actually, we should probably do this a little bit differently. There we go. Alright, green science. I'm going to run this upwards a little bit more, and then we're going to dump it onto this belt along with the red stuff. Alright, later on we're going to put in some lamps here so that we have a little bit more light, but this little system should be running fine for now. Right, already we can see a bottleneck with the iron gear wheels. That is something that we are going to have to fix. And again, you can see the problem is actually we're not getting enough input of iron plates. And that's because we've divided it so many times that this is simply not going to cut it. We're going to need more iron ore. And I suppose all of this stuff is being not produced as much because, well, we have a little more, or we have too little electricity, which is going to put us into trouble with the production of this stuff as well. But we only have a few electrical mining drills as well anyway, so we're going to craft a bunch of those. But first we should definitely try to fix our our electrical situation. This will not do at all. So this little system will be fine for now. It's going to stack up on some of this green science, which is great. But yeah, as you can see, we really didn't have a whole lot of production of electricity, so we can expand on this system quite nicely now. Let's see, we're going to keep 1 space in the middle, and that is shotgun shell damage done. Let's see, is there anything that we need to prioritize right now? Logistics 2 could be nice. Actually, electric energy distribution 2 or 1 would be nice, but we need steel for that as well. We don't have a steel plant yet, so that's some time away for us. We could do maybe with a quick landfill so we can get rid of some of the lake. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then let's see, we're going to put in 4 more of these, and of course the steam engines to go with them. Like so. And of course we're going to have to connect all of these up to the electrical system. Now, I'm going to use burner inserters, and they're not going to need electricity, so we don't need to have electric poles down the front. Now, of course, we are going to need several pipes. I guess we should cancel these these mining drills for now, then sign them up again for later on. And we're going to need more coal production as well, because this is not enough. Clearly, it's not enough. Also because it's quite slow. Oh, crap, misclick. Let's put in some pipes. But then we definitely need to have more of this stuff coming in. Of course, to do that, we're going to have to clear some trees. Later on, once we have cleared our surrounding area a little bit of biters, then we can be a little bit more aggressive and start using grenades. You know what? This is a... it looks nice, that kind of placement, but it's a little bit wasteful, because we can reach 2 of these with 1 pole. We're going to need this one to make sure that the distance is right, so not much we can do there. But we will definitely have to get a little bit more. Actually, you know what? Let's make sure that we go overkill for now. And I know this is overkill, but it's not going to be in the near future. Might as well set up for that. Right, so these guys are not working because they don't get coal, but that problem is going to be fixed very shortly, as you can see. Last bit of coal is reaching this last boiler, and now we should be a-okay in power, except I see this steam engine isn't properly connected up. So, as you can see, performance, it's about half, so we can basically double the factory that we have at the moment, which is awesome. We are also going to need some more lamps, because this is clearly not fast enough. But I lack the materials required to craft the electronic circuits that I need to make it work. Alright, let's get some of this stuff. We can do with about 4 more lamps, I suppose, but first we are going to expand upon our mining drill system, because we are not producing enough iron. We're going to need quite a bit more. Let's see, get rid of this tree as well. Not sure why I skipped this little part here. That's an interesting choice. Let's put one in over here as well. Alright, and then of course more trees need to be cut down. And again, like I said, we're going to craft some grenades later on, and we can start clearing patches of these trees, which is really useful. But for now, the trees are really nice to have because they help with pollution. Right? That means fewer attacks. Right. We're going to create a similar system to what we have over there. So we're going to need an underground belt and a splitter. Let's see. Oh, I guess I already had a splitter, but oh well. That's fine like this. Actually, let's put it down like so. This one can go over one, and this one can go over here. Of course, we're going to need an exit for this stuff. There we go. And then finally, of course, we're going to need the input for this stuff. Alright, so that should help a little bit with the production of iron plates, but we are going to need another smeltery pretty soon. Let's see. Not too worried about the military right now. Still haven't encountered any aliens, so that's going to be fine. Not sure if I need oil quite yet. We are going to need it soon though, but I guess we're going to go for electric energy distribution. Yeah. And we can do a different area for steel later on. For now, this is going to have to cut it. Alright. Let's have a look. We have quite a few electric poles. We can get rid of this wood, because we're not going to need all that stuff. And then, actually, we should probably put in some chests over here, so we can have science packs being offloaded, because I really don't need that stuff in my inventory, and I suppose we can put it right there. Like so. Oh. Got rid of that stack in here. And I guess we had this stuff, but we really don't need it either, so let's put that in here, so we can be offloaded onto the belt. And while I'm here, I might as well put in some lights, because I hate walking around in the darkness. And then, of course, we're going to hook up our extra labs, because, well, we need a little bit more speed to our research here. Alright, another underground belt. Alright, not an underground belt, another long-handed inserter. And I guess we missed one over here as well. Or actually we didn't miss, we just placed this thing. My bad. There we go. And I suppose we can have some more electric poles as well. Alright. Let's see, what else can we do? Oh yeah, we needed to fix gear wheels, right? We didn't have enough of that stuff. coming in, and by the looks of it we still don't. So that means we're going to need another smeltery, for which we're going to need more stone furnaces. Let's have a look. Yeah, this is still not coming in fast enough. But all of this stuff is now producing, and this stuff is being stacked up, or backed up. So we're going to put in a splitter over here, and we're going to expand upon this little system. Of course, let's see, we need to line this out properly. We're going to have a belt running like so. We're going to have the inserter. And then we're going to have this thing. Little line of that. We're going to have an inserter, a belt, inserter. Right there. So this will be the system that we're going to have to use. Right. So we need to divide coal, and we need to divide iron ore. And for that we're going to need to emulate this little system again. We're going to need more splitters as well. Let's see, we had this splitting over in this direction, that direction. Right, like so, and so. This one can go onto that belt. This one can go over onto this belt. Alright, so then we're going to need a splitter. Man, I'm trying to find a nice way to put the splitter for the coal. But there really isn't a nice place for it to go. Unless we move this thing over, and I suppose we could. Let's see if we can make this work with the... yes! Nice. Alright. That is cool. Alright, so this is going to go into this belt. This one isn't tricky at all. We can just put it there. And we will split it up like so. Excellent. Alright, so I'm just going to continue doing this for a little bit until this is all set up. So I'll be back in just a second. Alright, so the little system is set up. Meanwhile, the research was finished as well. So I started shotgun shell shooting speed 1. And then let's see, we're going to need a splitter. Alright, the splitter went into my inventory. Right, correct. Alright, then we're going to need a underground belt. We need to run this over in this direction. And this one is going to have to go around the electrical pole, which is fine. But this should now be spaced out evenly across the main belt that we have going into this factory. So this should back up pretty soon, I think. Which is fine. We should also try to get the second tier of transport belts, because this being second tier will be really helpful. Well, for that we're going to have to expand our system a little more again, because for that we're going to need transport belts and iron gear wheels, and we already don't have enough iron gear wheels as it is, so that's going to be a little bit of an issue. But yeah, one we should be able to deal with, I hope. We can definitely have a little system where this transport belt is split down here, goes off to this side, and then we have some iron gear wheels coming in here as well. And now we should probably be able to set up a little system for transport belts tier 2, I think. I think that would be pretty nice. Meanwhile though, I think we could also expand on our little production of iron gear wheels. We still have some things, facilities that produce this sort of stuff. I keep forgetting their name, because English is not my native language, so sorry about that. Alright, you know what, let's do gun turret damage 1, because once we do run into the aliens, it's better to be prepared. this needs to be turned around. And then we need to make sure that we place this correctly as well. So this is going to be input. This is going to be output. Right, it's going to be facing in the same direction. Wait, that was actually correct, wasn't it? Oh no, it wasn't. No. My bad. Alright, so this system is going to be fine like this. All we need to do is make sure it actually starts producing the stuff that we want. Which is, of course, the iron gear wheels. So, there we go. That should just nearly double our production of iron gear wheels. We should have more than enough iron now as well to fulfill our needs for this little part of our factory. Let's see, the remaining bit of iron goes over towards this area. Alright, yeah, that makes sense. Alright. Yeah, I think this will do nicely for now. Looks like green science is already backing up as well. I suppose we could do with 4 more lamps, and that's going to be the last thing I do for this episode, because then we're going to have, let's see, yeah, 7 on each side, which makes 14 altogether. That's going to be quite nice. I suppose what we could also do is we could make a little box for stuff that we really don't need anymore, like the burner mining drills. I'm never going to use these again, so this is going to be trash. Yes, we might as well have a slot for it. Right here, on the tip of the island. Alright, that is labs. Let's place down 2 over here. Of course, we're going to need some long-handed inserters. We're going to need some regular inserters. And we need the power poles to go with them. Ah, more research. Alright, you know what? Bullet damage too, I suppose. Let's go for the boring stuff first, because we still have a lot of other stuff to set up before we need to think about getting more recipes to craft. Right? We still haven't got any steel. We still haven't got many things. Because I do want to start automating more stuff. Like, I want to automate underground belts, I want to automate splitters being made. And all of that is stuff we can definitely do. We can actually do that down here already. Because splitters is going to need electronic circuits, iron plates and transport belts. Oh, actually, we don't have that. We have electronic circuits, iron plates. Oh, okay. So the gear wheels would have to disappear. Well, it's not impossible. Well, it's manageable. But it would be easier to do it over somewhere else. But that's going to be for a different episode. So please leave a like and a comment below if you enjoyed this content and wish to see more. And I'll see you guys for whatever video I do next.